Right now, there is an entire cohort of graduates who are on the cusp of making major life choices, like starting a new career, scaling the corporate ladder, and realizing many long nurtured dreams. But the Ken recently surveyed the graduating class of 2024, and what we found out was rather surprising. 1 in 5 students who graduated with a job confessed that they want to quit their job within the next 6 months. Most college placements have the concept of a dream job. It looks like many of those dreams have been killed in 2024 at the hands of a bad economy. It's turning out to be a terrible time to be adulting, especially if you're fresh out of college. Hundreds and thousands are still waiting to rejoin a job market that seems to have no space for them. And then there's AI, which is also hurtling toward them at a dizzying pace. The consequence? Many are stuck in the wrong job, can't quit, overwhelmed and worried about what the future holds. This is all turning out to be too depressing to think about, right? But what if there were a show about young people who are just starting out that you actually wanted to listen to? A show that didn't leave you anxious and hopeless, but energized and filled with possibilities. A show that actually made you laugh.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work.
Think.
Our youngsters must say, this is my country. I want to work 70 hours a week.
And helped you find ways to turn it around. Well, that show doesn't have to live in your imagination anymore. Welcome to the First 2 Years, a brand new early careers podcast from the Ken. I'm Akshay Chandrasekharan, your host. I'm a journalist with the Ken, and this is what I do. I cover careers and workplaces for a living. Everyone needs a little help to survive the first 2 years of their professional life, period. On this show, we'll talk about things like why quitting your first job within 12 months may not be such a bad thing.
So companies, I would say you don't owe your company anything, because if the company's business situation turned tomorrow, they would lay you off in a jiffy. So you don't owe the company is a faceless mask, but you do owe people.
Why we all seem to be trauma bonding at work for some reason.
We use trauma bonding as, oh, yesterday we were sitting and catching up and we didn't have so much in common, so we trauma bonded over our experience of XYZ.
Oh my god, yeah. And in the workplace, if you're former colleagues and you both went to the same workplace, and if you're like, hey, that workplace was so toxic, we trauma bonded.
Yes.
Like we both experienced the same trauma, and many other interesting topics. But we cannot make the show without you. And I don't mean that figuratively. You have to tell us the toughest questions about work that you can't get out of your heads. And we will call whoever we have to. Founders, HR heads, organizational psychologists, and maybe even folks from the Ken subscriber community to get you the answers that you want. On this podcast, you'll hear stories that cannot be summed up in a LinkedIn post, and valuable lessons for anyone trying to get a head start in their careers. The First 2 Years drops on March 12th. Add it to your calendars. Follow us wherever you get your podcast to be notified when it does. New episodes every Tuesday. I'm super excited. I can't wait. See you on March 12th. Stay tuned.